Hi everyone, long time no see. It is now May the 9th. Yes, May the 9th. Monday, May the 9th. And it's been a minute since I've updated anything. I started recording my process back in 2019 as I was preparing for Youmacon, prelims for ICL and CWM. Because I was competing for either or, because, there's individuals for both of those events. Or competitions, I should say. Well, as many know, or maybe not so many, depending on who follows me, which is but but that doesn't matter. But I won the preliminary for the United States to be selected as a representative. And fast forward, not really fast forward, 2020, 2021, and we're now into 2022. 3 years later, I can finally go compete at Cosplay World Masters. And as we all know, for reasons called the panini, that stuff got delayed over and over and over again. So yeah, that's the delay. That's the reason why I've been working on this thing on and off throughout it. At first it was, I'm gonna make some upgrades and changes and whatnot, just little teeny tiny things, but it didn't work that way. I liked what I created in the beginning, but I want to make some tweaks, as one does, make it a little bit zhuzhed up, I guess. Well, I changed a lot of stuff, kind of, sort of. I changed the sash or the belt on my Hanfu because I got better art for referencing. And I mean, it was good before, but I wanted it to be even better and more accurate to the actual art. So after a lot of super zooming in at like 1000% and then taking a screenshot and then zooming in that even more, I used it to create my new sash, which is sitting over there, and it's gonna stay there for now, I guess. Excuse me. That'll be all revealed next weekend because I'm deep in the throes of Con Crunch and I got stuff to do. Like I said, I made changes. I changed my crown. I loved what I did before, but it was heavy. There was 2 phoenixes on it that I had. It was a process of how I did it, but ultimately I had resin casted it and smooth cast 300, I think, or somewhere around that. I think it was 300 I used, 300 series. It was heavy. It was causing the wires to weigh down more than I liked it to. So tossed it all out in the trash. Well, salvaged some of the blink off of it, of course. But went to AliExpress and bought a lot of filigree. And went to Amazon and bought a lot more filigree. And I did some stuff in Brother Scan and Cut workspace, or Canvas workspace. I designed some stuff in there. I did some embossing on metal. Combined a whole bunch of that stuff together, blinged it out, and I now have a new crown. And I am so ecstatic how it turned out. It's what I had envisioned originally. I mean, it's just, yay. So pleased with it. What else did I change? My Hanfu itself, the top is still the same as cats. Cats are trying to break in here. They're locked out for reasons also. But Hanfu, I kept the top the same. It was pretty close to what the art was before. But the bottom half, I could not find images of. I had guessed before and thought white or goldish, yellowish, creamy. It was a weird color that I saw sticking out of the top of the sash, and I couldn't figure out if it was a skirt or if it was a lining or if the artist was lazy and some of the colors bleeded. Maybe, I think. So I found another piece of artwork that was the same outfit, but as one does in the wonderful world of animation, or anime per se, the art does not stay the same. They like to change stuff up and make things different. So I have reference art for one half of the body from waist up that looks a certain way, and then bottom down, which wasn't an issue, but the top half looked a certain way too, and they didn't mesh. The colors of the robes were the same, but the cuff was different, the crown was different, the hair was different. There were nods to each other. You could tell that they were sisters, but they were definitely not twins. So what I decided to do was use the art that I originally started with for the top half of the costume, and then the other piece of art that had the full body shot, I used it for the bottom half of the costume. So that's how I got the rationale of how to move forward with my costume. And so it was really sad and discouraging. And I kind of understand in a way how they may have felt. There's a sense of loneliness. When other people go overseas to compete, the hype, it's real. It is there, and it is palpable. Like a couple of weeks out leading into a thing, your whole community is out there rooting for you and resharing, and people are mentioning, and the whole hoopla that goes with competing at a event of that magnitude. And with exception to most recently, but going all the way back, all my predecessors, it felt like, from my perception of what I was looking at, maybe I'm interpreting this wrong, but they didn't seem to have the public outward backing and support of the community as did non-black peers that have competed in such events of equivalent nature. Yeah, like I think the most support I've seen, from what I've seen personally and looked at, would be our most recent WCS team, from virtual WCS team from last year. They had lots and lots of support, and I was happy for them and whatnot. But at the same time, it's like, did people help treat this team better? Because as we all, the team is two people. It takes two people to make a team, but one half the team is white, one half the team is black. So perhaps that's why they got better treatment overall. I'm not saying that the black half of the team didn't get any crap or whatnot, because stuff happens. People say unkind things and whatnot, but still, overwhelmingly, they got more support and whatnot than other people that have competed in the past that were all black teams. And I do recognize I do have a certain bit of privilege, even though as a black cosplayer, I am a black cosplayer with a fairer complexion than other people. I guess fairer than the average or most. I don't feel that way about it. I feel that I am a black person. Black is black, but I am aware, acutely aware, that people do treat other people different because you're a little bit lighter or paler than other people, and it's really unfortunate, and it's a really screwed up kind of thing, world fucked up place that we live in. So, and I have to put that out there. I make that disclaimer because I know, I am very aware it's kind of screwed up, and there'll probably be people out there saying that I am where I am at because I'm not the most chocolate looking person there is out there. I can say that I worked hard. I did all my things. I edited my stuff. I did my audio. I made my background video. I sewed my costume. I beaded and embroidered, and I did all the gosh darn things that you're supposed to do when you're supposed to be competing at this level of competition. I can sew. I can do things. But derailing, sidetracking, yeah, it's really overwhelming in a way, to feel this weird loneliness. And I probably should have reached out to some of my other peers that have done the thing before and to get a sense of how they felt, what did they do, how did they feel about things moving forward as they got closer and closer to their convention time or their competition day. But yeah, I'm overall I'm doing okay, just a little stressed out because con crunch is here and I did not expect to be doing alterations at this hour. I thought it was done. You know, that's it. I was messing with my hem because I've changed shoes, so I have to tweak my hem of my skirt. But other than that, I thought it was done, and then I have alterations. And another thing, I am acutely aware of. I am not only a black cosplayer, I am a plus size cosplayer. So I have that, and it's like, I guess, in terms of comparing me to other straight size cosplayers that are also Caucasian, I am the combination of what you should not be that the average person would presume a cosplayer would look like, because people still have the expectation that you're thin and fit and Caucasian and a certain kind of shape and yeah. And so I know I have that strike against me and race against me, and so it's like a uphill battle that I'm climbing. Wow, that's fucked up, saying it out loud and actually verbalizing it, right? But things are gonna be okay. I'm looking forward to meeting people and seeing who's competing. I remember we have a group. No one's active anymore because pandemic and all, but we had a Facebook group where all the competitors were speaking to each other originally, and it was nice, and it was a great fellowship and communicating with people. Some of us have followed each other on social media and whatnot. Oh gosh, it's been really neat to have the opportunity to do something like this. It's been on my bucket list to compete at this level for the past 8 years now. I think I've been doing this. Oh yeah, and I'm old too. That's strike 3. I mean, all the things you're not supposed to do. For those who do not know, I am 48 years old. Yes, the black don't crack, as they say. I thank my mother and father for the wonderful DNA that they bestowed upon me to age in such a slow manner. So, thanks, parents. Yeah, there were things on my bucket list that I wanted to do before I hit a certain age milestone, and competing overseas as a representative of the United States at one of these amazing international competitions was on that list, and I get to do that, and it's pretty awesome, and I am just so hyped to be able to do it and play Pokemon Go in another country. I know I'm such a nerd, but it's just really cool, I think. Like I said, it's weird. It's stress and anxiety and a pressure, and then there's excitement and joy and just looking into the unknown and just embracing what's gonna happen when it happens. And I'm just delighted to be able to do something like this and do it not just for myself, for my kids, and so they can see that, hey, look, my mom's doing this thing. That's pretty awesome. I could do something like that too. And for other black cosplayers, other plus size cosplayers, other older cosplayers, to show them that you don't have to fit a certain mold or look like a certain thing. You can do the thing. You can strive to do awesome stuff like this, and I'm here to tell you that yes, do it. I encourage it. I am so enthusiastic when I see other people do these types of awesome stuff and events and whatnot. I just think it's so cool. And when I see a talented cosplayer out there of the melanin quality, and I see them and they're like, I'm too afraid to compete, I don't see people like us all the time. And I tell them, excuse me? You should do that thing. Even if you're not competing, just do a walk-on, exhibition, just to test the waters and see how you feel about it. And if you like it, go and actually do a full-on competition and see where it takes you. Because I think it's really important for other Black cosplayers to compete, because if one person doesn't see someone that looks like them, they'll feel discouraged and they'll feel like they're not welcome to be in that particular space. I say, grab that opportunity, do the thing, take up space, let yourself be seen by everyone, and show off your work. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. Winning is nice, I cannot deny that, but just being able to show off in front of everyone, it's such a thrilling feeling. It's great, it's awesome, you get a rush. Yes, you could probably be nervous, because I am always nervous before I compete. I cannot deny this. I have little coping mechanisms that I deal with, and I got a little plushie to always keep with me to help calm me down. But do it. What will it hurt? I mean, yeah, you may waste some time backstage in the green room. Plus, prejudging, okay, we'll be honest. You will lose your Saturday if you're competing. I'm not gonna lie. Most events, cosplay competitions, skits, whatever, they have their thing on Saturday or whatever day of the week it is. You're gonna lose that day in line for judging and tech rehearsals and things like that. But the opportunity to get on stage and show off your hard work in front of your peers, and it's just great. And then you can inspire other people to do what you just did too. It doesn't matter what you look like, how old you are, how tall, short, none of that matters. Just do it. Just take a chance and have fun when you do it. Live your best life. It's gonna be fine. It'll be okay. And I guess I should close this out because I need to get the work back there, and so all this is all hand sewn right now. I need to reinforce it with sewing machine. But some 8 years ago last month, I think, I competed at my first international preliminary event. I was at World Cosplay Summit prelims in Detroit. This is back when we had multiple places you can go to. It's happened a couple of times so far, but I think this was their first time doing it. And my former partner and I were there, and we were walking around after we had competed, and we were just hanging out as one does. And it was a group of Black cosplayers that approached us. They were younger, in their late teens, maybe early 20s at best. And this particular young girl, she was very emotional because she said that we don't get to see people that look like us do that have costumes that look that good or that amazing. Thank you very much for doing that. It meant so much to me. And those words still stay with me every single time I compete. Every time I walk across the stage in any type of event, I always remember those words from that young person. And her friends, they all said some other things, of very nice, pleasant things too in that regard. But her words, because she spoke first, so they kind of resonated because it hit me first. I always go back to that, and I think this is kind of why I cosplay also, and why I compete. I do it for me, but I also do it for the culture. I'm not saying that I'm trying to be an example for everyone. That's not it. I'm doing it because when I am being seen by others who look like me, it encourages them to do that same thing too, so that they won't be afraid. They'll have the courage to do it because they see someone else that looks like them doing the thing that they may be afraid to take on. So, yeah. IberAnime, Cosplay World Masters, next week. I hope to be flying on Thursday. And this is Monday of the week prior, so I got a little over a week and a few days to get this. Well, I'll have this done by probably tomorrow at the latest. But to get this finished up, pack up my sash over there. I have a crown back there and an ironing board that's disassembled for travel, not because it's torn up. I have jewelry back behind me over there, my necklace and stuff and whatnot. I'm getting ready to pack that up and stuff too. Yeah, everything's great. Just nervous, a little stressed. Well, I'll see you guys all on the other side in a couple of weeks. Hopefully I don't embarrass myself. Bye. And so I did that. I'm now finishing up stuff. A lot of stuff. I put my costume on a couple of weeks ago. I did a fitting. I was like, okay, my body has changed over the past 3 years. I need to do some tweaks. So I changed one of my sleeves because a little snug in one sleeve. And it's like, okay, that's great. Well, then I put my hanfu back on last week. Or Friday, I think, is when I did it. Thursday or Friday. And I realized the top now is too big. And I mean too big as in I had to insert 2 back shoulder darts that each dart took out a total of 2 inches each. In addition to that, I removed the zipper that was in the back, closing it up. Because that's the pattern I had at the beginning. And it's gone through some changes. But I removed that zipper, sewed that seam up, and used it as an opportunity to take in another half an inch. So my back is smaller now. My front is okay. Things are great. The fit is much better now. But as the way I work with my stuff, I line things and whatnot, so I have to take out the lining, do the alterations to the outer fabric, the interior for the lining. I had to take that in also because I'm that person and I don't want to be lazy about my work, and and since I was doing all that, I decided to remake the other sleeve. So now I have 2 new sleeves. The other sleeve was fine, the fit was okay, but I decided to give it a little bit more room also because it would let me have more mobility while I performed. So I decided to just take advantage of that since all this lining and everything was taken out. And now, all that's together in the top half. I made a decision after doing some research, looking at patterns, looking at some hanfu traditional Chinese costume or dress, and looked at some things there. And a lot of the pieces are separates, and you put them together and you arrive at a beautiful garment or ensemble. Then there was one reference in there that had it as a one-piece garment, which was you had a top and a bottom, and they were different colors, and you sew them together. And I was like, I'm doing that. And the reason I did that was because a lot of cosplayers that only do runway cosplay do maybe not have the full understanding of how your costume works when you're performing versus when you're just walking and posing. Yes, I have done things where I've rigged my costume for runway to make it work better, or it was more comfortable, or things of that nature to make the presentation better. But when you perform, sometimes you cannot do things the way they're intended to in terms of fashion or accuracy of how a garment's made. And theater people know this too. So you rig a costume differently so it will behave the way you need it to during the performance. And that's what I did. I joined the two pieces together because I want them to stay joined, because I had a fear of the top coming untucked out of my skirts, and I didn't want that to happen. So for security of keeping all that together and unified, even if belts and whatnot on top of it, I decided to just top, bottom, smush together like a dress. And that worked out great. I did some tests with it and range of motion stuff and whatnot, and I can move. It's not limiting, and everything stays put. But how am I feeling right now? A lot of kind of things. I'm very nervous. A little bit stressed. Internalizing it. I should not internalize it. I should let it out, and I wouldn't be as stressed probably. I've talked to a few of my friends about it. I've talked to some of other alumni from other international events. There are some of my friends that have gone to other things overseas for the United States. And a few weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I didn't bring up concerns per se. That wasn't it. It was more of a I was just in my feelings, because it's when you do this for the first time, because there are other people who have gone overseas doing WCS and then another international competition and whatnot, and so you have that veteran status. You kind of know what's going to happen. Not exactly, because the events are different, but you have experienced the overwhelming pressure and sense of expectation that people have or may have placed upon you. And then you have your own internal stuff that you're dealing with, and you put that together, and it's kind of stressful. And I've been navigating my way through that. And for me, adding on to all that, as one can see, I am a Black cosplayer. Therefore, there is low to no, I'm not saying everybody, but the cosplay community, or I guess in particular the United States cosplay community, has a low to no expectation for Black cosplayers, because there are not many of us that have done this. It's a handful in comparison to all the events of everything that the United States has had representatives at in official capacity, representing the country, meaning you went to prelims and whatnot. Not that I was a cosplayer, I went overseas at X convention and competed. No, not I mean, like, you're representing your country in an official capacity. Going all the way back to No Bunny, Honey Bunny. Oh gosh, I'm forgetting people. I am brain fart. I need to insert names around my head when I edit this later. Clara Cow team. I cannot remember their names. Why am I going? Yeah. Yeah, Chibi Tifa, most recently. She was half of Team USA for WCS last year when they did the virtual performance. Going up to that most recently. And I feel that I'm in good company, and honored to be among those other fellow Black cosplayers that have represented the United States in an international event. And I remember watching them, all the various teams, those people I have mentioned and names that I can't remember. I apologize profusely. During those times, it was a lot of people did not have any faith in them. There was little to no support. It